In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 things that I've learned after 154 days of vibe coding an app until I make $1 million. This has by far been one of the most challenging and exciting things that I've ever done in my life. I'm 23 years old, and as you can see here, just from this YouTube playlist, you guys can check it out here, but 154 days of vibe coding, building in public. And I want to share my perspective, and I want to share these 5 things because I think one of the best ways to learn is from experience. I went to college and I didn't really get the value out of it. I didn't really get a ton out of it. I don't see the need for a college degree because you learn all of these things from textbooks and from lectures, but you don't really get a ton of hands-on experience. So I want to be able to share these things and these concepts and these philosophies with you guys from real world experience and show you the data, show you the things that I've been through, show you what I've built, and talk about the journey to this point, and then also elaborate a little bit about what the journey looks like going forward, because I'm not giving up or stopping anytime soon. BridgeMind has achieved over $54,000 in ARR, and we're not slowing down anytime soon. So with that being said, if you would like to join the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet, make sure you check the link in the description or the pinned comment, and make sure you join the BridgeMind vibe coding community, the home of the vibe coding movement. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Number 5 is the fact that you can now do more than ever before. Using AI, you can now accomplish more than ever before. And I'm going to show you a couple of real world examples for this. The first one being marketing. So this is channel analytics from BridgeMind. You can see here that in the last 365 days, the channel has generated 1.6 million views from just YouTube Shorts, which is like short form clipping, right? You take a YouTube video or you take a live stream, you clip it and you repurpose it and you post it in a short form format, okay? 1.6 million views. Fun fact, I have not posted a single one of these myself in the last 8 months. I've been using a platform that I built from day 20 to day 105 called ViewCreator. It's at viewcreator.ai, and we're actually in process of building out ViewCreator V2. So this is ViewCreator V1. This is what I built out. And the way that I'm doing this is I'm literally just setting up a profile. So you can see I have several profiles that are hooked up to different accounts. This is the one that I use for my main channel. And if I go to my content bank, what you're going to see is that I have all of this content, all of these clips, right? So these are all clips. And you can see up here in the left-hand corner, it says posted on a lot of these, right? And I've been using this platform to hook up AI agents that automatically are able to take in this content that I upload to this content bank and automatically post them to TikTok, X, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can see here this agent ran just about what was this one? It looks like it ran literally just 20 minutes ago. You can see that it ran at 6:30, and you can see that it goes into the content bank. There is nothing on the market that it grabs one of these clips and it's then able to actually publish it to these 4 platforms that I have it hooked up to publish to, okay? And this has been generating a significant amount of visibility for my company, BridgeMind. And what I want to make the point of here is the fact that using AI to automate this process for me, I've automated distribution for my company. I've automated a massive piece of the marketing. Now, ViewCreator.ai is now on hold before we release V2, but this has been what I've used to help my company go viral. So this is one use case, but I also want to talk about another product that I've built, which is BridgeSpace. So BridgeSpace is the way that I do software development. The AI tools that exist now, like Opus 4.6 inside of Claude Code, GPT 5.4 inside of Codex, these coding agents are off the charts in terms of their capabilities. I've been vibe coding for over 3 years. And there was definitely a transition period about a year ago when vibe coding exploded onto the scene, because what you're able to do is you're able to just quickly launch coding agents inside of your code base to be able to work for you. So I just launched 6 Claude agents inside of my agentic development environment called Bridge Space, which is a product that I've actually built. And I can just give it a quick prompt. I can say, I want you to review the project and fix any errors, and that's a bad prompt. But just to show you guys, it's like, if you guys are unaware, these coding agents are off the charts. And what you can now do, and if you guys watch my live streams, if you watch my content where I'm actually working and focused in, like in a vibe coding no talking stream, or in a day X of vibe coding app time making $1 million, I'm usually using about 6 agents at a time, and I'll give them tasks, and they'll all be able to go off into their own directories and their own work trees and do their job, and then come back to me. And you can now create production grade software with vibe coding. And there are some drawbacks, there's some limitations that are obvious to anybody that is a vibe coder or an agentic coder. They're very obvious now. But the thing is that you can now do more than ever before using these tools. These tools are becoming increasingly more capable, allowing a singular person to do much more. And I'm seeing this every single day. So those two things, marketing and then the build out of my product, I've been able to single-handedly get BridgeMind to $53,000 or $54,000 in ARR in under like 40 days, because we just launched BridgeMind.ai with a suite of vibe coding tools, and we've been quickly able to reach that point. So you can now do more than ever before, and as these models continue to get better, I'm continuing to notice that the capabilities are increasing. If you guys are familiar with Comet from Perplexity, I'm finding that I'm literally giving handoff prompts from Claude Code to Perplexity to then go do something in my browser. Computer use is exploding onto the scene. And if you're on the cutting edge of this wave, you will continue to see the increase in capabilities, and the people that are on the cutting edge will win. But that is number 5. You can do more now than ever before. I mean, if I was to compare this from a year ago, the capabilities now are just off the charts, and anybody that's in the space knows that. But that's number 5. You can now do more than ever before. Stop overbuilding. This is something that I've learned during my journey, and the best representation of this is actually ViewCreator. So the platform that I just showed you guys in the last clip that I use to be able to automate my marketing campaigns, which is a phenomenal platform. Again, I'll show you this. 1.6 million views for shorts on my YouTube channel, all generated from ViewCreator. So an incredible platform, right? But the thing is, I want to show you all of the features on this platform. I'm not going to show you all of them because I literally couldn't. There's too many of them. And if you guys go back to that last clip, you'll note that, I said that I spent day 20 to day 105 building out this platform. You can generate thumbnails, you can generate Instagram bios, carousels, ideas, you can publish and schedule, profile insights, you can see your data for your Instagram, you can see your Facebook, you can generate content for Facebook. I guess that's a 404. And that's actually one of the points that I want to make, is that there's no need for all of these features. YouTube chapter generator, description generator, transcript generator, comments, publish and schedule, analytics, create. You can use this to be able to create images and transform images. And you can also see your analytics. You can, have a clipping agent. You can have all these things, right? But strip all of that away, and the only useful thing that is actually revolutionary and cutting edge with ViewCreator is the ability to automate content scheduling, creation, and posting. And it's with these agents. So if I go back into one of these agents, you can see this agent here. It has 3 steps. You can start, it picks a content out of your content bank, and then it actually is able to process the post. If it's a video, it will literally be able to transcribe the video and then create a keyword-filled caption, description, tags, and post it to all 4 platforms. This feature is quite cutting edge, and it's something that I've found great value in when I've been doing my social media marketing. But when I say stop overbuilding, it's because one issue that literally ended up hurting ViewCreator, in my opinion, is the fact that there are so many features. Look at this. I already showed you a couple, but look, Spark, you can talk to basically like ChatGPT, but for marketing, right? Like there's all these different things. And at some point, you get to the point where you have so many features that it ends up hurting your sell points, it hurts your marketing efforts, it hurts everything because yeah, you can build a lot of features in today's world. You can, with vibe coding, you can build all sorts of features. You can pretty much with one prompt turn an idea into reality. But that's not the best thing to do. Especially when you're an early stage startup, the best thing to do is pinpoint one or two things about a platform or about a product or about a company that you want to build and build them very, very well. We were able to apply this to the BridgeMind suite of vibe coding tools. If we go now to bridgemind.ai, what I want to show you guys is that with bridgemind.ai, we have a couple products, but BridgeSpace is by far one of the best products in this suite, and it's very, very simple. And we also have a voice-to-text tool, right? And there's not a ton of features inside of these products, right? They're very straightforward. They are very easy to explain. Bridge Voice is a voice-to-text tool. Bridge Space is an agentic development environment where you can literally just manage tons of AI agents. It's very simple to explain. And when you have something that's simple to explain, it helps your marketing efforts, and it also makes it easier to actually manage your product. With ViewCreator, even with what even was it? It was like was it on Instagram or was it Facebook? Was it Content Generator? Yeah, 404. Like I didn't even know that 404 existed, right? Because, well, there's 60, 70 features on this platform, 70 products basically that are packaged into this platform. And yeah, that's a great thing. But it would be better if you focused in on one thing in particular that the platform is really good at, or that you can build that you would know would be a good product that would be useful to the end consumer, and build that one thing. And that's what we're going to be doing for ViewCreator V2. It's what people have been seeing on stream lately as I'm building ViewCreator V2 with an app, and I'm also continuing to build out BridgeSpace and the BridgeMind suite of vibe coding tools. But to be able to focus in on one thing that that you can market well and can help consumers, that's what you have to focus on. In the BridgeMind community, we do project sharing events, and I've seen time and time again, people share feature after feature after feature after feature. And one question, I don't want to be bashful when I say this, but how many users do you have? And if the answer to that is like less than 100 and you have all these features, well, maybe it's time to stop building features and to start honing in on what could really help the end consumer, and to then build that out and start marketing and then iterate after that. If you get 100 users and they start to talk about what they want, then build what else they want. But if you build a massive platform that has no users or very minimal paying subscribers, well, what are you doing? Right? So that's one thing that I've learned. ViewCreator taught me that. Stop overbuilding. It's not good for you. It's not helpful. It's not how you build a really good product, because like I said, day 20 to day 105, that's 85 days that I poured into this product, and the peak MRR of this product was $1,200, and it's currently at $486. Whereas with BridgeMind and the BridgeMind suite of vibe coding tools, that's already at $4,500 in MRR, and it's at $54,000 in ARR, and I've only been working on it for like less than 2 months. So that's something I've learned. Stop overbuilding, focus in, start marketing, and that's just super, super critical. Definitely learned my lesson here on ViewCreator, but I'm excited to build out ViewCreator V2. So that's coming soon, but that's number 4, stop overbuilding. Number 3 is the fact that there are ups and downs. And I want to show you some data from my journey, including revenue, X growth, channel growth, marketing growth, and just show you guys what I've experienced so that you understand and get a clear picture of what it's like to be on a journey like this one. So you guys can see here, even from the MRR, right? Look at this. So 4 weeks ago, first of all, MRR is up 290% in the last 4 weeks. But 4 weeks ago, revenue MRR was at $1,280, right? For BridgeMind.ai in particular. So if we watch this, it kind of is like on a slight uptick, ups, downs, stagnant, and then we had a big upswing here, right? So we literally went from 1,600, we pretty much doubled our MRR in a couple of days, right? But now we're kind of back to just like a subtle uptrend. And that's not necessarily a down, but the thing is like if I go to trials, I think that this better shows kind of that ups and downs of like the waves of like, okay, a lot of trials slows down a lot, slows down a lot, and slows down a little bit. And what I want to say here is that it doesn't feel great when there is a down period. And I just want you guys to know that you're not in it alone, okay? That's normal. And it feels great when things are going right and things are going up, right? But it's not always going to stay like that. And you need to be okay with being able to be strong in a down period and being okay if things aren't just absolutely exploding, right? And that's something that I face. That's something that I've dealt with. I can show you the same thing, for example, on X. Obviously, X is a very important marketing platform. You can see I've generated 10 million impressions on X. But for example, you can see the same thing here. Here's a virality wave. Here's another wave. Here's another wave. Here's another wave when Elon Musk retweeted me. But, you can see this. And I'll tell you what, some of the most exhilarating experiences, exciting experiences that I've ever had in my life at 23 years old is being in one of these up periods. It feels absolutely great. You're going viral, revenue is going through the roof, you're making money, but things aren't always going to be like that. And you need to be able to be strong when the crest of that wave hits, and you need to be able to be the person that you were when you were in the up, when you're in the down, because the people that are going to be the ones that are going to succeed are the ones that are able to be strong in those down periods and not let the up periods get to their head. But I will say the up periods are exciting. Another thing that I can show you guys is the YouTube subscriber count. It's the same thing. It's a community thing, right? And you can see here in this around January, I literally went from like 27,000 subs to 34,000 in the midst of like 1 week, right? So 6,000 subs in like a day or in like a couple days, but it's not always going to be like that, right? And you need to be the person that's going to be able to stay in the arena long enough to get through those ups and downs. But ultimately, if you do stay in the arena, you are going to experience those upswings, but it's not always going to be like that. Something that I've learned is that, yeah, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And sometimes it's totally out of your control. Sometimes it is in your control. Sometimes you're not doing enough and you really should, and you need to be able to be on your case about that. But there are going to be ups and there are going to be downs, and you are not in that alone. And I just want you guys to know that that is normal, and that's definitely something that I've learned on this journey, is that there are ups and downs. The number 2 thing that I've learned in this journey is that community is everything. You guys can take a look here at the BridgeMind Discord community, and you can even look at this conversation here, but there's a couple people that are brainstorming some really good different vibe coding workflows like the BMAD method and superpowers or spec kit, but they're all talking to each other, brainstorming better ways to do things, and they're learning from one another, and they're laughing, and they're enjoying their time together. And I have to say, one thing that I try and do is I try to bring people together. And when I was in my college dorm room using GPT 3.5 over 3 years ago, vibe coding, building out Python scripts, and I realized in my dorm room that vibe coding was going to be the future of software development, and AI was going to be heavily integrated into software development, and I decided to go all in. I didn't have anybody around me at that time. Nobody, the technology was limited. Obviously, it was only in ChatGPT, and you were copy and pasting. But at that time, I had nobody around me to share that with, nobody that would be as excited as I was. All my friends in college, they were like, dude, just shut up about ChatGPT, right? This community that we've built is special. And I've learned more from this community than I ever could have from anywhere else. And the community and just interacting with people, it makes it fun to show up to work every day. It makes it fun to stream. It makes it fun to engage in the chat. It makes it fun to engage in the Discord. As you guys know, we just finished a $5,000 Vibe-a-thon, and I just think that, if I didn't have this community, if I didn't build this community, or if I didn't, do my best to show up every day for the community and push the community forward and bring people together, BridgeMind would look a lot different than it does today. And I think that community is everything. And that's why I'm kind of, you guys can see me, if you guys are in the community, you guys can see that I'm doubling down on engaging with the community, trying to do giveaways, trying to do more events, restructuring the Discord, because this community is important and vibe coding is the future of software development. And a lot of people may say, no, it's not, but we're all in this together. I think there's so many people in this community that understand this technology and are on the cutting edge, and we're all innovating together. We're all builders. We're all waking up every day and giving it everything that we have, and that's what it's about. So I'm very appreciative of the community, and I don't think I'd be here where I am today without the community. So that's just another thing that I've learned, and it's something that's been a pivotal part of the journey, is that community is everything. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't be here, period. So community is everything. The number one thing that I've learned during this journey is to show up every day. And I think that there's no better representation or example of this than to literally just look at the at the journey that we've been on. If you look at this, if you look at all of these live streams of day 1, day 2, day 100, all these days, right? You can go back and you can click on one of these, right? And you can look at, this is what I was doing 154 days ago. I was working on a goal app. I was working inside of Cursor. We were using Claude 4 Sonnet. I was in a backwards hat and sunglasses. And you can look at the evolution. And I think that this is when I first started out. If you guys have seen the My Vision video, when I first started out on this journey, the vision that I had was I want to show people what it takes to become successful. And I want to show that if you do show up every day and give it everything that you have, then you can be successful. And there are ups and there are downs to this journey. There are difficult days, there are easy days. But I think that to look at this and just to be like, yeah, after 60 days, I had only made $1,000 in revenue. After, let's see here, 100 days, I was not even past $2,000 in revenue. And it's like, hey, now you look at it and it's like, okay, 53,000 in ARR, that we're in, a much better setup. We have equipment. We have all of these different things that we didn't have 154 days ago. And it's very easy to look at the difference between day 1 and day 154 and say, oh, wow, a lot has changed, right? But it wasn't easy. There were days where, I'm not even kidding, I had my head in my hands and I said, I don't know if I can keep doing this. But I pushed through. There's been days where I felt like I just can't stream. I just don't feel like it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. But I showed up anyway. And I think when you do that, when you show up when it's difficult and you just say to yourself, yeah, I'm going to do this, you will be able to look back over that time period of all the effort and all the time that you've put in, and you will be able to see your accomplishment. And if you look back at this series, you will be able to see that. And this is only the beginning. We're at 54,000 in ARR, and we're not stopping anytime soon. We're going to get to 1 million. This is not a joke. This is not something that I'm doing for views. I'm genuinely on a mission to vibe code an app until I make $1 million. I'm building a company. I'm building a business that's going to, continue to grow, and you guys get to be a part of that journey. So that's the number one thing. It's like, if you just show up, whatever ideas you have, whatever you're doing, you can almost is like it blends in, because you can see, hey, 154 days ago, I was working on a goal posting app, and then I worked on ViewCreator, and then I worked on, BridgeMind, and BridgeMind.ai has really taken us up a lot because the suite of vibe coding tools is very good. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out at BridgeMind.ai. But, just by showing up, you can accomplish a lot more than you think. And when you get into the mindset of like, I'm just going to work at this every single day, the amount that you can accomplish over X amount of days will blow your mind. And it will be difficult. It will be challenging. But nothing that was easy was ever worth doing in the first place. So keep showing up. Show up every day. That's the number one thing that I've learned. And with that being said, guys, I hope that this has been helpful for you. I'll do this every so often on the channel, but I'll be live tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. I'll show up tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for day 155, because that's what we do. We show up every day. So with that being said, guys, I will see you guys in the future.